going to go through what keywords are, why your keywords are very important, how to actually choose your keywords, and then also I'll show you live some good and bad keywords. So I'll be going over to the eBay site to actually show you some examples as well, just so that you can really get your head around it and you can fully understand good and bad keywords and why they are so important. So first up, what are keywords? Well, keywords are terms that potential buyers actually input into the search bar on eBay or into Google or into Amazon when they're searching for items that they specifically want online. They are relevant words associated to your product. And on eBay, the keywords are the words that you will use in your title on the sell your item form, and on Amazon they're the words used in the what they call the item name, or aka the title. So that's why the keywords are vital to people finding your product, because they are the words that people will input when they're searching for something online. Now, best match is eBay's default search option, and this is just a little screenshot of what you might see in the top right hand corner if you go onto the eBay site. You can see that it says sort by and then it says best match, and there is a little arrow there to the right hand side, and that arrow actually enables you to choose the sort by method to items ending soonest, or items closest in distance, that kind of thing. But what I will say is that most buyers, most eBay buyers, will totally ignore all those other search options and they'll just use it on the default best match, partly because a lot of people don't actually realize that you can change using the drop down menu. You can change it, and so they'll just leave it because they're more concerned about just getting their keywords into the search bar. So that's why understanding eBay's best match system is the real key to putting your products in front of potential buyers, because you want your keywords to be best match for your product, and if they are best match, then they will appear in the search results and be put out there in front of all those potential buyers. Now, they're also very important on Amazon because there's no space for a long description on Amazon. So your keywords are very, very important because they have to precisely convey the product that you're selling at any one time. So for your products to be found during a search by a potential buyer, there's three things that you need to make sure your keywords are. They must be, firstly, accurate, they must be popular, and they also must be relevant to the product you're selling. So accurate, popular, and relevant. You need to remember those three things when you're actually inserting your keywords into your title for your product. Now, there are 7 eBay best match factors. Now, I've just talked about best match, and obviously title, keywords, and their relevance is by far the most important of these 7 factors. But each of these that you can see in the list now does have an effect on the page rank of your product listings in the eBay search results. So obviously title, keywords, and their relevance, which I'm going to go on and talk about now. Recent sales history, your postage price, your detailed seller ratings, your item specifics, your listing duration, and your item price. These are all really important and all come into play, but the most important are your keywords. So that's what I'm going to stick with tonight for the webinar. I haven't got time tonight to go into detail about all the others, but what I have done is I have covered the other points within your eBay Power Seller Secrets manual, and you can find information on that on pages 99 to 111 if you want to have a read and learn more about all those other factors as well. I do talk about it also in the eSeller Mastery manual that you've also received. and I mention where you can find that later on after we've talked about the listings. So for now, we're going to think about the title keywords and their relevance. So how do your title keywords actually relate to eBay Best Match? Well, potential buyers see the listings with the most relevant keywords to their search first. So what this means is that if your keywords aren't relevant at all, then your products won't appear, or they might appear a lot further down the rankings, and that's no good to you. You need your products to appear when those keywords are banged in by a potential customer. You want your item to pop up right in front of them so that they've got the opportunity to click through, read your description, and ultimately to buy your product. So by using the correct keywords, your products are shown to potential buyers. I'm thinking I just might have missed a page there. Yes, I did, sorry. So your title keywords also relate to Amazon. I'm sorry I missed that page out. As a default, potential buyers actually see the products with the most relevance to a keyword search first. And again, if your keywords aren't relevant, then your products won't be easily found in the Amazon results. So your keywords are as important on eBay as they are on Amazon. It's important that you get them right on both sites when you're adding products to those venues. So as I've said, by using those correct keywords, your products are shown to potential buyers. And what this does then is it starts off a really good chain of events. First of all, this is what happens on eBay. Your item description will be viewed. That's because your keywords are relevant, and so your product listing has popped up in front of the potential buyer. So they've seen your product in the first list in the initial results, and then they click through. So your item description is then viewed. What happens then is that your item might be added to that viewer's watch list because they might want to have a think about it and come back later and actually purchase. Or the viewer might purchase your item there and then, which is even better. That's exactly what you want. Or the viewer might leave your page without either watching or purchasing. Now obviously we don't want them to do that. That's kind of worst case scenario. We're hoping that number 2 or number 3 happens. Now, if number 2 or number 3 does happen on eBay, once your item is viewed, watched, or purchased, then eBay sees those keywords as accurate, popular, and relevant, which are the 3 important points that I made earlier, and the points that I asked you to always think about when you're putting a new listing together. Once your item is viewed on Amazon, what might happen then is it could be added to a viewer's wish list, which is where they put items that they might be interested in, again, to come back later. It's a little bit like eBay's watch list. Or again, they might purchase the item straight off there and then. So once again, it has relevance. And so just like before on eBay, your keywords once again are accurate, popular, and relevant. But how does this help? Well, what happens is, because people are watching, viewing, and purchasing, lots of people are actually taking action in one way or another. So in eBay's eyes, or in Amazon's eyes, this has a positive effect, and your search rankings and your relevancy will kind of start to rise for items with those relevant, accurate, and popular keywords in the title. And what this means is that your product listings will then appear higher in the search results, because eBay or Amazon have deemed those keywords that you've got at the top of your product absolutely relevant. They know people are looking at them, they know people are adding them to their wish lists or their watch lists, and they know as well that hopefully people are purchasing them. And all this combined is all very positive. And so eBay then start to show your products more and more. And that really starts the ball rolling, because once your products are being shown more and are being shown higher in the search results, then obviously it's like a chain reaction. More people will see them, more people will click, more people will watch, more people will add them to the wish list. And so all the time you're creating more and more positive effects on your listing, and your listings will begin to rise. And of course that means that you actually get sales. And when you start to get sales, you start to get a sales history. And sales history is another factor in where your actual products appear in the search rankings. So higher search rankings mean more product views, more watchers who may become buyers, more sales, and ultimately more profit for you, which is exactly what we want here. Now you get the use of up to 80 characters in your eBay product title to ensure your item gets seen in the search results. And over on Amazon, it does vary actually on Amazon from category to category, but on average it's around 100 characters. So you do get slightly more on Amazon, but that's a good thing, because obviously you haven't got the long listing description that you can use over there. So the more relevant keywords you can get into your Amazon title, the better. But what I don't want you to do is to waste those characters that you have available within your titles, either for eBay or for Amazon. They are there for a purpose. They're there for you to use them to attract as many potential buyers as you possibly can by using those correct keywords. So don't start adding in keywords that just simply don't need to be there. I'm talking about words like wow and look and gorgeous and beautiful. They're descriptive keywords, but they're not relevant to your actual product. You need to stick with the actual product specifics. Now, choosing your actual keywords is something that you need to pay close attention to. You need to, for eBay keywords, you need to look at similar products that already appear on page 1 of the eBay best match search results, and then note down those keywords, because if they're already appearing on page 1 in other sellers' listings, then you can pretty much guarantee that those keywords are popular. eBay already sees them as positive. So what you'll actually be doing is kind of piggybacking on other top sellers' keywords. You can also check watch count for searched for keywords on eBay, and you can incorporate those in your titles. And you can check eBay completed listings for the keywords that have been used recently in similar sold items. But above all, what you should really try and do is to put yourself in the buyer's shoes and think about the kind of words that you would use if you were the buyer yourself. What would you search for if you were looking for the product that you're selling? Now, I will show you keywords in best match search results, and I'll show you watch count when we go over to some live stuff in just a little while. So don't worry if you don't fully understand what I mean by this right now, because I will show you so that it all becomes clear. Over on Amazon, it's a kind of similar method that you would use to pick your keywords. Again, you would select a category and search for a similar product. You need to look at the keywords used in the titles of the products that appear first within the list that will come up, because those are the relevant products, well, the products that Amazon deems relevant to your best match search. Or sorry, not your best match search on Amazon, but your keyword search on Amazon. So they will come up in a list. What you can do is, from the relevancy results that appear on Amazon, you can then do a separate sort and choose popularity instead, and simply note down the keywords in use for the most popular items that are similar to your own on the Amazon website. Now, your aim here overall is to reach the top of the search results, or at the very least try and appear on the first or second page of search results on eBay. And over on Amazon, you want to appear on page 1 or 2 of the Amazon relevancy results in your category for your product keywords. Now, I appreciate that I've kind of just spoken all this at you, and so it might be a little bit difficult to get your head round. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to eBay and I'm going to show you the best match buttons, explain about the keywords on best match, show you watch count, and I'll also give you a couple of examples of good and also bad titles on the eBay site right now, just so that you can really see how your keywords can help your listings reach the top of the search results. Okay, so here we are first of all over on eBay, and what I want to show you is the best match button, and I also want to show you some keywords on best match. So we'll start with that. I'm going to use an example of a Kindle case. It's just a random item that I've selected. Now, first of all, when I type in the words Kindle case, you'll see that eBay immediately gives me some suggestions as to what I might mean when I input those keywords. And this is another way that you can look at using the correct, relevant and popular keywords within your own listing titles on eBay. So if you were selling a Kindle case, then you could look down this list here and you might decide that you're going to include the words Kindle case with light. You might decide that you were going to use built-in light. You would definitely use Kindle case. So it's another way of looking at what's popular right now when people are searching for this particular item, and then using those words to your advantage within your own title keywords. So I've input the terms Kindle case and I'm going to click search, and what this will do is it will immediately bring up the best matched options. What I'm going to do is, because we don't want the auction listings to appear in these results, we just want buy it now, because buy it now is the way that you would be selling your items. And this is where the sort is over here. And this is that little arrow that you can just hover over, and it will allow you to change that default from best match to time ending soonest, newly listed, lowest price, highest price, and so on. But as I say, most eBay buyers will leave this exactly as it is, which is the best match default. And so the items that match best, those keywords that I've input there, will appear first in the search results. So out of 61,811 listings on Buy It Now, this item here is appearing top because the keywords that this seller has used are the best match for what I'm searching for. So you can then look at these keywords and you can then use some of these keywords in your own listing if you were selling a Kindle case. So we've got leather, we've got smart case, we've also got the word cover, which is another word for case. I mentioned earlier that you need to kind of put yourself in the buyer's shoes and think about what you might input as a search term if you wanted to buy this item. And whilst I might call it a Kindle case, Joe Blogs down the road might call it a Kindle cover, or they might call it a stand. That's another keyword that this seller has put into their title keywords. So you need to kind of think right across the board, think what people will be looking for, and look at the words that are already being used by the top sellers within the category or niche that you want to list your product in. Now obviously this seller's done really well because he's appearing in position 1 for my search for Kindle case. There will be other factors apart from the keywords that are involved in this ranking for this seller, the cost of postage, the sales history, all those that I mentioned earlier, and that I do go through within the Power Sellers Secrets book. So again, you can have a recap on those, but keywords are, as I've said, the most important. If we just go down the page a little bit, let's have a look at another one. This one has used the term multicolour. They've also used the word cover. They've got a light in there as well because the case or cover comes with a light. Again, those are keywords that you could use. It's always useful to look at more than one of the best match listings that appear on page 1, because different sellers will be using different keywords, and your aim is to try and use a combination of all the most relevant, popular and accurate keywords within your own titles, because that's how you will then start to rise up the rankings. So that's on eBay. So you can see that these are good keywords. Choose some of those to use within your own titles. Another way you can look at the possible keywords that you might use in your own listing titles is to go to the watch count site, which I mentioned in the last webinar with regard to researching items. Now you can use watch count also for keywords, and this is the screen that you'll see when you first go to the site. What you need to do is go over to this section here where it says search and click on top eBay searches, and that will bring up a completely new screen. And the best way to go about this is to don't bother selecting a category here, just go straight to keywords. So if I stick with my Kindle case again as before, and then I click show me, it will bring up the most popular searches on eBay right now relating to, as you can see here, the Kindle case. So related searches are Kindle touch case, Kindle keyboard case, Kindle cover, that's the keyword that I mentioned when I showed you the example just now. Case with light, again, those sellers have the light keyword within their titles. We've got Wi-Fi as well, we've got leather, and then over here we've got alternatives. So this incorporates Kindle HD and Paperwhite, which are two different types of Kindle. So if your Kindle case that you were selling happens to be compatible with a Kindle 4 and a Kindle Fire and a Kindle Fire HD and a Kindle Paperwhite, then you would need to get all those relevant terms into your title to ensure that all the people that were actually looking for your product were able to find you. But this is a really good way of checking related searches and alternatives. So it's something that you should always check when you're researching your keywords. What I want to do now is just go over to the Amazon site, because I want to show you, you remember I talked about the relevancy and the popularity. I just want to show you how that works, because it's often easier to see it actually on screen than if I just kind of talk about it. So again, sticking with the example of Kindle case, you don't actually get kind of keywords come up with the suggestions from Amazon, because they kind of put everything into different categories. You may get one or two. For example, down here you can see the word light, you can see the word pink, and you can see the word and covers there, but a lot of these will just explain what category they're going to show the Kindle cases within. So you can't use these as you would on eBay. So I'll click go, and this will bring up a general list of everything that matches my Kindle case term that I've input into the box up here. And you can see that there's 95,918 results. But I want to know which ones are most relevant, and I want to know which ones are most popular. So if you just go over here where it says choose a department to enable sorting, you click on that arrow, it will bring up a list so that you can choose a department, and then you can kind of dig deeper into each specific section. So I'm not going to go into Kindle Store because that will be books. So I'm going to go into electronics and photo to see what comes up for that particular one. So you can see here now, I talked about relevance earlier, and this is just like eBay's best match is the default, relevance is Amazon's default. So looking down the list, with regard to my keywords, which were Kindle case, that's what I'm searching for, the most relevant items that come up are these in this list here. And really you don't want to go past page 1, because obviously the further back in pages you go, the less relevant they become. So you could look at the keywords here for these top ones, and you could see the word small, you can see premium, you can see case and cover again, which are most definitely keywords that you'd want to use if you were selling a Kindle case. And then over on this one, we've got it called something different again, a folio case or a pouch. So again, words that you might like to consider. Moving down, this one has got the word light in it, added to that night reading light. So that might be useful to add into your keywords in your title. You need to look at more than one, just like on eBay, to get an idea of what all the kind of top sellers are doing with their keywords, so that you can get the most exact, most relevant keywords into your own title listings. Now, if I wanted to see the most popular items, all I need to do is click this drop down menu here and choose popularity instead. Now, with popularity, it won't necessarily apply to Kindle case. It will apply to Kindles, but the results will be much broader. So you're going to need to scroll a little bit further down until you hit the one that you're actually looking for. And you can see here that we're this is number 7 in the popularity results, and this is a leather cover. Again, we've got the word leather, we've got the word cover. Over here with this, oh, that's a Kindle Fire. Let's just go down a little bit further. Here we've got leather, we've got smart flip case cover, which are another set of keywords that we hadn't seen before. Again, consider those. So look through all the results on page 1 each time you bring up popularity or relevance, and just have a look, make a list, just note down the words that are being used, and then you can then form that into a really, really good keyword rich title for your own listings. It's a really good and it's a really easy and quick way of working out exactly which keywords are the most popular that you can then use yourself. Okay, so I'm going to shoot back over to eBay now, and I just want to show you this listing that I found. Keywords are very, very, very poor. All it says, and this is absolutely extreme. Most people wouldn't even dream of adding a listing with just those 2 words in it, whatever they were selling. All it says is mixed lot, so it doesn't even say mixed lot. There's very, very few people who would actually search for mix and lot as keywords. And what is it a mixed lot of? It doesn't say watches, it doesn't say jewellery. You can see in the photo there's some cufflinks, there's some watches, there's some kind of ring. None of those words have actually been mentioned in the title, so how on earth is anyone supposed to find this? And that would explain why it's ended. When I looked at this originally, it was on £3.40, just 2 bids. If I go through to it, we can see what it ended on. I doubt it's much more. No, 3 bids ending on £4.20 for this mixed lot of items. Now in the description it just says mixed lot, 2 men's watches, blah blah, ladies watch, 3 rings, no hallmarks, pair of cufflinks, no hallmarks. It doesn't say anything really about any of those products. It's just a long list of words that doesn't tell anybody anything. And I really hope that that you wouldn't ever try and create a listing that looked anything like that with those really poor keywords, because nobody will find your products and you won't make any sales at all. So just something to kind of think about, you know, make sure your keywords are correct every time you list a product. I'll just show you one other one. Here we've got, this is also ended, it had 1 bid. I'm just going to refresh by going through. It didn't have any further bids after I looked at it. 99 pence it ended on, with postage of £3. Let's have a look at the description. Again, yeah, a couple more paragraphs, but nothing really that makes it stand out, makes you want to buy it. And I will go through a little bit of this when we discuss listings in just a moment. So going back to the actual keywords, we've just got ladies maxi dress. What colour is it? What size is it, importantly, because when people look for clothing, especially on eBay, they'll often put in search terms such as ladies maxi dress size 10 or ladies maxi dress size small or medium or large or whatever. That it doesn't say any of that, and so again it doesn't surprise me that this item only got one bid. So you need to be really aware that your keywords could make all the difference to you selling lots of items or selling none at all and not even getting any views. I really can't stress that enough. I probably harp on about it quite a lot actually, but it is so important, and your keywords will be the most important thing that you have to think about when you're creating your listing title. One other little thing I just want to show you before we leave eBay is I'm just going to type in the word look using those horrible @ symbols, because this is a word that you really shouldn't ever use on eBay within your titles. Nobody in their right mind is going to actually search for that word apart from me, because I'm showing you exactly what results will come up, but so many people do use it, and it is such a waste of those 80, you've only got 80 characters to convey what your product is, and so by wasting 4 of them by sticking that in, it's just a complete waste of time. If I click search, you'll see that there are in fact over 61,000 listings with that word in the title. So there's 61,000 people using that word within their keywords in the hope that it will actually attract people to come and buy their products, but it won't, because I won't search for it, you won't search for it, and no other buyers will search for it as well. And it is a little bit of a bugbear of mine, this kind of thing. Another word is wow. Why use the word wow? Nobody's going to search for the word wow when they're looking for a product. So just be aware that words like this are a complete waste of time, and they won't do anything at all for your listing.